Dudes and dudettes, welcome back to the Ice Age. My name is Iceman. I'm bringing you guys my final Expedition DLC map review today. We're going to be taking a look at the map Runoff, and definitely a very interesting map. And before I wanted to get into that, I wanted to take a look at the DLC in general, do a little review on that in case you guys missed my other two videos. So just talking about the Expedition DLC a little bit, it's definitely worth your money if you haven't gotten it already. I know a lot of people have been kind of excited about this map pack to bring some life back into Titanfall, and it has definitely done that. The games have picked up quite a bit, and people have been getting back into the game a little bit once this pack came out, so good to see that. I would highly recommend you guys get this map pack. It doesn't feel like they were just trying to get your money. You know, all the maps, all three of them in this pack, really feel like they add something to the gameplay. They bring something new to the table, you know, in terms of the theme or the concept or whatever, and it really feels like a really good time, as opposed to just playing on the same maps from the regular disc all over again. So really recommend it. If you guys, you know, want more opinions or anything like that, just let me know in the comments or send me a message or something. But for right now, I would just definitely say go ahead and get this map pack. It's really worth your time. So to get into this map a little bit, this map definitely contrasts with Swampland, which is the last review I did, because Swampland was a circular map. You know, it was pretty easy to get, you know, from one point to another pretty quickly, and at least be able to, you know, see where you were going and find where people were and everything. And Runoff is definitely different. It's a very large rectangle all the way through, and it's basically centered around having long, straight sight lines for people to, you know, fire down the map. And this is really cool in a lot of respects. I mean, you can see here that all the buildings that are on the map are connected by these long, straight walkways and hallways and things like that. And it really kind of adds that industrial feel, you know, you're going between all the industrial buildings and everything, and that's really cool. I like that a lot. And it also kind of adds, you know, a little bit to the interior combat, because a lot of maps, you know, when you get inside, it's very tight and cramped and, you know, CQB kind of combat and everything. And it definitely doesn't feel like that on this map. You know, even when you're inside, the buildings still feel very large and open, and, you know, you have these straight hallways and paths from one room to another. So you definitely have to be checking your corners when you walk around, you know, in this map, because somebody could be all the way down at the under end of a hallway, already posted up, you know, aiming in on you and everything. So you have to be very careful when you're running between buildings or wall running along the outside of those hallways or something, because, you know, it's not just that they could be right in front of you when you turn the corner. They could be pretty far away from you, already looking down and everything. And I think that adds a different dimension to what we've seen in other building maps in this game. So really happy with that. You can see right now I'm in the biggest building on the map. Has a very large open area with the two sewage tubes going up in it, and that's basically one of the main Titan routes on this map, and I'll get to that in a little bit as far as the Titan gameplay on this map, which I would say is less than stellar as opposed to some of the other maps in the game and in the pack and everything. But yeah, just to kind of finish off talking about the design of the map in general, there's lots of openings, windows, doors at basically any level on the buildings, and you can see as I'm running through this building, there's just openings everywhere. You know, there's windows in the walls and holes in the walkways and everything, and I've definitely pulled off some really cool running routes in this map. You can see a couple of them in this game, actually, and, you know, I've seen people pull off some crazy jumps and stuff, and, you know, people are just flying in from the ground level all the way through a, you know, a window in the second floor, and really cool. But you notice here that I'm in the sewage, kind of the very ground level of the map. Not so many openings down here because it's a lot less traveled. You know, not really sure why people don't go down there, other than, you know, there's really not much interesting down there, but it can definitely make for some sneaky routes if you go down there and kind of go the length of the map and come up behind your enemy. That's a really cool tactic that I've tried quite a few times, and it works very well. you know, assuming that you have like camo or you stay under a bridge or something, because the problem with the sewage level of this map is that there's basically zero cover other than you trying to get into, like, duck into a different hallway. You know, up here in the buildings and everything, there's boxes and corners and windows and things you can hop between, but when you're on the sewage level, you know, it's really kind of, you know, just you and a bunch of open area. And I think that's because they designed that for the Titans. That's kind of one of the routes they had in mind for the Titans moving around the map. But if you use it as a pilot, you just got to be a little careful. But it's kind of like a high risk, high reward, I think, area of the map, because you can really pull off some cool upsets and things like that when you go down there. But you know, you have to be very, very cautious that somebody's not already down there, because you really have nowhere to hide. So, talk a little bit about the game types on this map. This is obviously attrition. I think it plays really well for attrition and pilot hunter, which is a similar game type, because, you know, it's kind of just open area and a lot of places for you to see the grunts and for you to see other players. So pretty cool map for those type of game types. And talk a little bit more about objective game types. I think hardpoint would work very, very well on this map, because, you know, the buildings are very distinct, unique environments, and having, you know, a hardpoint in these buildings would make it very clear which windows and which routes would be the best option for getting into and out of those hard points. Capture the flag, same kind of deal. I think it would be a very interesting map for that, but I would be hesitant a little bit to play that, because I think the map routes would be pretty open and hard to run on this map, because, you know, those sight lines, again, they're just so long and straight that you can basically see people running from almost anywhere on the map, and it would make it very difficult if you didn't, you know, have an excellent team, you know, to slay the enemy, you know, for you to run the flag. It would be very difficult, I think, especially if you're trying to wall run along one of the hallways or something where you have no cover whatsoever. So I think it would be a much more tactical, competitive game type in CTF is, I think, my summary of how that would play out. But I'll try to get some gameplay and see how that actually turns out, whether or not I'm right. So. And the one game type I wanted to talk about the most would be Last Titan Standing. Now, that's my favorite game type in the game, because it feels so competitive, and I just really, really love the Titan gameplay in this game. But honestly, I don't think it would play very well on this map, and it was kind of due to this sewage level, and because that's how they envisioned and designed the map for the Titans to move around, and there's really, you know, not many options down here. There's only really 2 routes the Titans can take down here, and then there's only really 2 routes that they can take on the ground floor, or sorry, the first floor, the one I'm on right now, and those are basically straight on top of the routes in the sewage level. So there's really only 2 main pathways the Titans can take through the level, and it really just causes a bunch of choke points when the Titans are trying to run around, and I don't know, I'm not really happy about that, because I like the Titan gameplay so much, but basically Titans end up filling up the end zones of the map, which are pretty open, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned something. If you did, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that awesome stuff, and until next time, guys, stay frosty.